everybody, welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH After Show. Let's jump right into it. Michael and Willow are married. Not that this surprises anyone, but as a Chilla fan, this was not a fun week for me. And to be honest, I don't think that this is going to help them win custody of Wiley. I mean, Nelle could probably show up into the courtroom, murder someone in front of the judge, and she would still get granted custody because the villains never seem to lose on this show. Instead, she showed up in a wedding dress, and my money is on the fact that she probably married Julian Jerome. At the start of the week, Nelle went to Julian Jerome to try to get him to speak on her behalf. He turned her down, and then he went to go pick up Brooklyn from the PCPD, which he wouldn't have done if, Nelle wasn't in his face. When the two of them get back to the restaurant, after it was already closed, it turned out that Nelle was hiding in the back, and she overheard Brooklyn talking about how he knew about Wiley's identity and how he rigged Brad's car to crash. So with that in mind, she goes over to the floating rib to meet up with her lawyer, and then she hears from Lucy that Michael and Willow were getting married. So naturally, she goes back to Julian and pays him a visit. There's no reveal that he actually did it, but come on, it's pretty obvious at this point. Listen, I am aware that Nelle and Julian being married is as problematic as Diane thought Michael and Sasha getting married would be, but as we've learned over the last year in certain storylines, certain things only tend to apply to certain people where it suits the writers best. A fine example of this is that Sam is not able to see her baby's father, Jason, because he's a convicted felon and she's on parole, yet Nelle is allowed to move in with Michael, who is also a convicted felon, while she is also on parole, and her parole officer seems to be nowhere in sight during this storyline. For me personally, there is nothing worse than when a writer has to sweep certain things under the rug just to keep the storyline that they want to tell going. It's so irritating and so sloppy and so lazy. I mean, I am an intelligent viewer, and I'd like to think that a lot of the viewers of GH are very intelligent as well, so it's very insulting that they expect us to overlook things like this, you know? In any case, I think the outcome is either going to be Nelle getting full custody or Michael and Nelle having to share custody because they don't want the storyline to ever end. Ever. With all that in mind, the most interesting part of this story for me this week was watching Sasha and Chase cope with the new reality that they've created for themselves. Seeing Chase daydream about Willow and hearing the background music being so sappy and the post-nuptial scenes between Willow and Chase and her letting him know that she married Michael, to me that solidifies that they are the couple to root for. I love them. I want them back together. I really hope it happens. I do not take much interest in Michael and Willow, to be honest. I like them as friends. I like them as each other's confidant. I don't want them to be a romantic couple. That's my opinion, of course. I want to know yours. Do you guys ship Michael and Willow, or do you guys prefer Willow and Chase? Let me know in the comments below why you love the couple that you love. Anyway, Sasha is actually struggling way more than Chase at this point. She is hungover as hell, and she has her first big photo shoot with deception. She's an emotional wreck, and Maxie's assistant offers her a vial of drugs. I didn't get a good look at it, but people are saying that it looked like cocaine. Listen, if she took that whole vial, which was definitely full of cocaine, she'd be dead. That to me was wild. Like, that whole thing was emptied out and she had 2 minutes to take all that? She'd be dead. But so begins Cyrus's drug storyline in Port Charles. She might be the first victim. I hope she doesn't die. I hope it's just a close call. But obviously that's the road that they're about to go down. Anyway, while the main focus this week was Michael and Nelle's custody battle and Michael and Nelle getting married, the other story was that Robert apparently showed up to Laura's house drunk as a skunk, and she took care of him, and she kind of toyed with him a little bit, saying that they hooked up, and she was obviously just kidding, but it was funny. I love their long friendship. It has been since the glory days of GH, and I'm glad that these writers at least remember that those two are quite good friends. On top of that, both Mac and Anna suspect foul play when it comes to Holly Sutton's death, and Robert gets let in on that a little bit later. The three of them want to get to the bottom of it. The only thing is, we've only got 4 episodes left of GH, and then that's it until God knows when. When GH eventually does go back into production, certain things are going to have to be rewritten, certain things are going to have to be scrapped, and a lot is going to have to be changed so that the actors and the crew are all kept safe while continuing to do the show. So it's hard to say where the story will go, but what I do know about the original story is that Emma Sams, who plays Holly, was actually set to return to General Hospital, but then the actress herself actually caught COVID-19, so that was scrapped, and then shortly after, GH stopped production. So it's anyone's guess at this point where the story was going. Obviously, she was meant to be alive, but we don't know what would have actually happened or if what was written will actually happen eventually. Anyway, the only other scenes worth noting this week were between Sunny and Ava. The two of them had a very civil moment. Ava took Avery to visit Mike at Turning Woods, and Ava wanted to apologize for wanting to press charges against Mike back when he took Avery and mistook her for Courtney, his daughter, and took her to the stables. She feels genuinely bad about that, and Sunny is like, thank you for apologizing. I like that Sunny is being civil with Ava because it really sort of solidifies that the only fight that Sunny can really take right now is to fight for his father and what his father wants before the end of his life. Max and Maurice have been killing their scenes since the get-go. I mean, this storyline has been really good because they're such wonderful actors, and I can't wait to see the end of the story. I don't think we're going to actually see Mike die in the next 4 episodes. Whatever we will see will happen after the break, however long that's going to be. But who knows when GH will be back? It's hard to say. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I will be back next Sunday for the final GH after show until this is all over. However, there will continue to be GH content every week, and I'll let you know exactly what that will be in the next video. But for now, if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you guys next week. Peace out.